Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
How are you?
I'm fine, Skip. How are you?
Hi, Joy. How are you?
Hey, Joy. Where you going, Joy? What you up to? You ought to know good. I know it. I know you got some of them sleeves.
Maybe I do.
You going somewhere, Skip.
My magic dress.
Don't let her fool
I got something on my sleeve.
you. Ain't got nothing up there.
I got unbuttoned.
Shirt sleeve. That's what you got up that sleeve.
Because it was so starched, I couldn't get either side to button. That's what I got up my sleeve.
Gotta make sure you're looking good.
How are you, Shannon?
Lord have mercy. That was...
Huh?
Why you got to tell all that information? Oh,
I don't know.
It starts so hard, I couldn't button it.
Well, you know.
Dry snitching on yourself. Ain't
I
nobody
did, on myself.
Ain't nobody ask you all those questions.
Juju Smith-Schuster and D'Angelo Hall are both in studio with us coming up later in the show. But let's start with Kevin Love. He wrote a very revealing article in the Players Tribune yesterday about his mental health. Love said he suffered a panic attack during a game against the Hawks back in November, and he had to be taken to the hospital. Cleveland.com reported Love told his teammates during the infamous January team meeting that he all left the game against the Thunder because of a panic attack. Love said he was inspired to speak about his condition after seeing fellow All-Star DeMar DeRozan talk about his own bouts of depression last week. Shannon, what's your reaction to Love's article?
Kevin Love should be commended. It takes a lot. It took a lot for him to open up. And I think, as he mentioned, DeMar DeRozan opening up allowed him to open up. You see, a lot of times athletes are viewed as invincible. Athletes are a microcosm of normal people. Well, I hate to say normal, but just because you shoot a basketball, Skip, just because you play baseball or can catch or throw a football, it doesn't exempt you from problems that people that do not do these things face. He dealing with panic and mental illness. Eddie Lacy, eating disorder. They have drug issues in professional sports. The same problems that afflict people that do not play professional sports afflict people that do play professional sports.
That's true.
And for him to open up about this and to become vulnerable, it gives you a glimpse into how, I think, put it like this. It offers you a glimpse into who Kevin Love is because he revealed he told no one, not his mom, not his dad. They say, or his closest friends. Skip, they say people, when someone, if someone says something about you, in order for it to affect you, you must first value their opinion. He didn't tell the people closest to him because he valued their opinion. He was wondering in his mind, how would they perceive me? What would they think of me? Do they think I'm like crazy? I need to be committed? What's going on here? So he withheld that for them because he didn't want their perception of him to change. It takes an awful lot, Skip, to do this because as an athlete, we look at ourselves as being, I was one for 14 years. We feel we're indestructible. We feel we're invincible, and things that affect that people that do not do what we do, that can possibly touch us. How can that possibly be? Man, I play a professional sport. There's 500 people that play NBA basketball. Can't happen to me. But it did. And it takes a big man or a big woman or a big person to open up and share one's most intimate. And I just remember as a kid, my grandmother said, boy, no matter how bad we got it, somebody got it worse than us. And Kevin Love basically said, hey, I'm not the only one. Someone probably has it worse than me, but this is what I have going on in my life, and I'm no longer afraid to share it with the world.
Took courage.
Yes.
Took guts to put yourself out on display like that, your innermost issue. And I commend him for it, and I appreciated that LeBron publicly commended him and said this will make you even more powerful than you were before because it took so much guts and just raw courage to put this out there. And now we go back to that flashpoint of the Cleveland season, which was that fiery team meeting, as reported by ESPN, that precipitated everything that happened at the trade deadline because it looked like the Cavs were coming completely apart because a number of the veteran players, one of them no longer with the team now in Los Angeles, questioned the legitimacy of one Kevin Love's illness during that Oklahoma City game when he took himself out and then left the arena. Remember that?
Yes.
So this causes this flashpoint meeting, and I'm pretty sure by all accounts that's when he divulged to the team, well, this is my issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ill as in stomach flu.
Right.
I got this going
Right.
on. And I wish I could have been a fly on that wall because I'd like to have seen how it played. Did they continue to question the legitimacy? Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been around a lot of old school, hard-nosed, tough basketball and football players, and they would say baloney to this. Like, just suck it up and deal with it.
You know, I came up old school.
You did.
And I'm sitting in that, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you weak.
That's what you would say. I agree.
That's
right.
That's in that era. That's what
Yep.
would have happened if he came up in 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s basketball. That's what would have been said.
Yep.
And now, Skip, we look at it the way we view things, and like you said, you've had an opportunity to see both sides of the equation, and the things that are said and how things are perceived. You can no longer do that now.
Right.
But he did open himself up. Now on the basketball court, it's a different ball game.
It is.
Now nobody might say anything publicly.
I know.
But I can assure you, on the basketball court,
He's going to hear about it.
yes, yes.
Because it is, so to speak, kill or be killed. Psychologically,
Yes.
kill or be killed.
Yes.
And yeah, just to frame this, and I don't want to come across as, so to speak, cavalier about this. I don't want to be insensitive because this is a legitimate malady.
Right.
And I go back to, I'm going to say, dare I say, the toughest fictional character in the history of television was one Tony Soprano. Were you a Sopranos fan?
I was not a Soprano
Okay,
fan.
I was. Watched every minute of it. You know it? And Tony Soprano routinely suffered from panic attacks. It was the constant thread that he was fighting his inner demon of panic attacks throughout all the Sopranos seasons. So that drove him to his therapy sessions with Dr. Melfi. So the point is that it became a big thing for Tony Soprano. So I'm not going to, I don't want to diminish at all what Kevin Love is going through. He said he had some family issues that were causing a lot of stress. And then the truth is, it's hard to play with the king. It is, man. It's tough. This you want to talk about a cauldron that you play in on a nightly basis, and you want to talk about pressure. And how many times have we talked about Kevin Love, where are you? LeBron needs you. And now he is the second best player, right? And I guess he was always vying for second best. It was Kyrie, obviously, but he was the third best.
Yes.
And obviously,
But that was a big transition, Skip, because he came from being first best.
He was first
you
best.
go from first best to being third best.
okay, but first best never made the playoffs one time in 6 years in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay? So he could play somewhat in the shadows where there wasn't the nightly heat on him to rise and shine
No
and
expectation.
live up to your at least big three. He's part of the big three.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's been a lot of heat on him.
Absolutely.
And when he comes back from his injury this time, whoo,
Yes.
you don't think there's going to be
Yes.
huge pressure? I know you've got expectations
Yes.
of him, for
And
him.
probably, Skip, when you go from being the big fish, but there's no expectation. Nobody thought Kevin Love was leading Minnesota to the promised land.
Nope.
And then you go to expectations on a nightly basis.
Yep.
I played with an all-time great player.
Yep.
There is expectations. He expects you to make every play.
Yep.
And when you don't make every play, if he skips the ball to you, you ran the ball too deep. That's what he wouldn't say that, but that was the expectation. You got to make every play. Well, when you play with LeBron, you got to make every shot.
Yep.
You got to catch every pass that he throws you. That's what the expectations is. That brings on a lot of stress, Skip Bayless.
It does.
Because on a nightly, everybody can't play in that pressure cooker. Everybody, I want to do that. I want to do that. But to play in that pressure cooker, what is New England in football? What is the Cavaliers in basketball or Golden State?
It is.
That is a pressure cooker on a nightly basis. And that will bring a lot of stress, a lot of undue stress upon one.
And LeBron is in the vortex of all that stress. And I have high regard for how he handles it on a nightly basis. It is not easy.
Yes.
But he is built to thrive on drama. I've always called him the drama king because he likes it. And in my time of covering sports, never have I seen a superstar generate more nightly soap or, dare I say, soup opera, as we had with J.R. Smith the other day, than LeBron James does. It swirls around him, and this team this year, This is the most drama-packed single season I can remember of any team I've ever covered in any sport. I don't cover the team, but watch closely.
Right.
I can't remember one. Some of those Yankees, Steinbrenner, Billy Martin, I'm going way back. But
maybe it would have been interesting, Skip, had we had social media.
Yeah.
Maybe we could see the drama between Mr. Steinbrenner and Billy Martin play out, and Reggie Jackson, and then Dave Winfield. See all that drama play out on a daily basis.
Maybe.
Or maybe the Bulls in the 90s when they were going through and Michael was, we'd have known that Michael punched Steve Kerr in the eye. We'd have known that Michael was going to the casinos. We would have known all this, but we don't know it till after the fact now.
I covered the last Bulls run, so to speak, the 98 Bulls. And I don't remember this. And you had Dennis Rodman doing something every night. But it didn't take on this magnitude. Because just to put this in perspective, okay, so now the second best player on the team has panic attacks, suffers from panic attacks. And then we go back to the first of what sparked all this was Kyrie Irving said, I can't take it anymore. And a lot that he couldn't take was the drama that swirls around LeBron, that LeBron feeds off of. And Kyrie finally just got worn out from it and said, I can't take it, and I demand you get me out of here.
Skip, and I believe maybe some of that is true, but I believe that they had a meeting, and there was a hypothetical question posed, and it was involved trading Kyrie. Now, I believe
he didn't like it. He got word of it, wind of it. Yep.
There's only a handful of people in that meeting.
Yep.
Somebody told Kyrie, or they told Kyrie's representative. I feel very comfortable in saying it was not Dan Gilbert.
Yep.
But it got back to Kyrie, and Kyrie says if you're bold enough, brazen enough to speak hypothetically, because I've always said there are two untouchables with the Cavaliers. That's Kyrie Irving and that's LeBron James. But they broached the subject of a potential trade involving Kyrie.
Okay.
He feels he's like, okay, I get it. I'm the second best player, but you thinking about, okay, let's go and make this happen then.
So the soap opera continues to swirl, and is David Griffin, the ex-GM who was soon to be removed, was he going to acquire Paul George or Jimmy Butler or both, or what was going to happen? And then he gets fired, and all of a sudden Dan Gilbert takes over and acquires for Kyrie a little 5'9" player who plays no defense, who walks in the door and starts talking as if he is the co-star, that he is LeBron's equal.
Remember, though, 5'9", injured.
He is facing career-threatening hip condition that has sapped some of his explosiveness, at least from what we saw. I know he's been a little better in L.A., but I don't know. I'm not sure. So what soap opera is that he comes in and on a nightly basis, he's talking like, this is my team. It's your team.
Talking, and he's not even playing, Skip. Remember, he hit the door talking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get me 30 a night. Oh, we gonna be bomb diggity.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay. So then LeBron James, this very basketball season, went on about a 20-game stretch in which he was the MVP of this league in his 15th season. MVP. And then all of a sudden, they hit the skids. He hits the skids. He kind of just shut down emotionally on his team. And for 19 straight games, he has the worst plus-minus in all of basketball. What is it, 518 players in the league? He had the worst plus-minus, which precipitates this flashpoint team meeting, which precipitates trade deadline, and it goes boom, boom, boom in the 11th hour before the trade deadline, and they pull off three that change the whole face of the team, and they go right out and dominate Boston at Boston and dominate the Thunder at Thunder. And I'm saying, wow, it looks like they've been playing together for what, like 3 years?
Yeah, they started the season together.
Were we not? You were cheerleading, man.
Oh, yeah.
I was too. I thought this looked great. And all of a sudden, in their last 7 games, they're 3-4, and I can't figure out where all that went.
Right.
Well,
but to get back to Kevin Love, I think for them to attack him the way he did, he felt, because look, as he says, he's been dealing with this for a while. I think the attack by the veteran.
The first one was November 5th.
Right.
They were losing to Atlanta. And all of a sudden, he got dizzy and felt like his brain was trying to leap out of his head, and he was losing his shortness of breath. So he said that was the first time. Remember, this is his 10th season, so he's not ever experienced this. He was under some microscope at UCLA on very good loaded basketball teams, and then 6 years in Minnesota and now in Cleveland. been under a lot of scrutiny, but this is the first time it's hit him, according to Kevin.
I think being attacked by teammates. Skip, you know when the media or fans like, oh, Kevin, you a bum, or Kevin, what's going on, or this or that. That's one thing. But the guys you go to battle with every day, and they're attacking him. And they were attacking Kevin Love because oh, bro, you just checked out. Okay, what's going on? Why weren't you here? Why couldn't you be on the sidelines? Okay, I get it. Something was going on, but you could be on the sidelines. If you're not going to be on the sidelines, how about being in the locker room and give us a... He almost felt backed in a corner that I got to tell him what's going on. Because I can assure you, had they not put him in that situation, I don't believe Kevin Love would have divulged this information, Skip. But he had to because he was being attacked. His manhood was being attacked. And so...
And reportedly, Isaiah Thomas was leading the charge.
Yeah, see, and I told him, put the mitts on him. See, now, if he put the mitts on him, we understand why, because Kevin Love, like, I was dealing with something, and he pushed me to a point that I had to come out swinging.
Yeah.
But you know what, Skip? I commend him for this, because we've all dealt with something. We're all dealing with something. Under no circumstances are we letting that out. This is probably the most difficult thing that Kevin Love has had to pull the curtain back and reveal. And he did it. Now, he's just not a normal guy that's just walking down the street. That's Kevin Love. He plays NBA basketball, and for the most part, millions and millions of people. But what he did, he put a face and says it's okay. Because you can make millions of dollars. You can be a professional athlete, and you can have some of the same issues as a guy that's walking down the street and nobody knows. So I commend him for that. But I'm just going to tell you, Kevin, you know how this works. I've played with guys, and they've had certain issues. And don't think I didn't let them know about it when we got on the field. So when you're on the basketball court and we doing battle, I wish you all the best. But I got to do what I like to do.
And as cold-blooded as this may come across, remember, Kevin Love is making $22.6 million. It's a lot of money. And he's scheduled next year to make 24, and the next year about 26. It's a lot of money. So a Cavaliers fan or a ticket buyer, customer, they're just going to expect Kevin Love to come back and play with it to figure this out.
I don't care about that, Skip.
Right? They're not in the end. Are they sympathetic? Yes,
yeah,
they're sympathetic. Yes.
But when you get on the court, all they see is zero.
That's all
they see. Love on the back. Okay, now go give us 20 and 10. And then you deal with that. You deal with that on your time. When I'm paying my hard-earned money and I'm watching you play and I'm rooting for the Cavaliers, I need you to give me 20 and 10, and you can deal with that. I'm sorry. And it comes off as being callous. It comes off as being cold.
It does.
But I'm being real with you, Skip. And that's what I said about guys being injured. When you go out there and you're injured, whether you had to take pain-killing injections, whether you had to take pain-killing pills, all they see is that number with that name on the back, and they expect that production as if you were 1,000% healthy.
In your last Super Bowl, what happened to you?
I sprained my MCL. I had like a grade 2, made almost a 3.
Okay. Did anybody know about it?
They didn't know at first, and because I tried to go back in, I tried to tape it up. I just couldn't go.
But I'm saying before the game, were you talking about it?
No, it happened in the game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay.
No.
All right.
But there have been times, Skip. Now, your boy Shay is taking his share of pain-killing injections.
I know.
But you know what, Skip? Those fans didn't want to hear about that.
They
didn't want to hear about Shannon was not practicing. All Shannon was doing was shooting up his ankles and going to play. And you going to give me that 1,000 yards? You going to have them 10 touchdowns? That's what we need to know. Are you going to help the Broncos win? John Elway needs a go-to guy. So all that other stuff that you're dealing with, ice them, elevate them, do whatever you need to do. But I need you there on Sunday.
How many times have you said on the show, when Kevin Love gets back, when Kevin Love gets back, when Kevin Love gets back, right?
Yes.
Well, he says he's coming back sooner than later from his broken, whatever it is, like a hand. Okay? So here we go. Down the stretch, we got about, most teams have 18, 19 games left. And the Cavaliers have had as big a roller coaster ride as I can ever remember a good team having. Because they've been blown out a bunch of times, and they've had some nice wins. So do you realize for the whole year, they're only in point differential plus 19. To put that in perspective, that ranks 16th in the NBA, plus 19, because the Rockets are now plus 557. So they've scored 557 more points than their opponents. The Cavs only 19 more. Even Toronto has scored 551 more than its opponents as the best team in the East, or they're vying obviously with Boston. And so that's 532 more point differential points than the Cavaliers have. So it's way up and way down, and way up and way down. So
getting beat by 30, getting beat by 40.
My point is, if you have panic attacks and you're coming back into this cauldron, this pressure cooker, God bless, man, because it's not going to get any easier.
Well, the good news is now he is getting help for it.
Right.
So we want to commend DeMar DeRozan for getting the conversation started. But I think all of us would agree that sports is overwhelmingly more mental than it is physical. We've seen thousands of athletes with incredible physical ability not make it because they don't have the mental capacity to endure in that. But having this conversation about mental health is important. It's important in our society right now. That term gets thrown around a lot, but people kind of ignore it because it's a taboo thing. It's very hard to reveal your deepest, darkest scars, even to the people close to you, let alone to the whole world. But look at someone like Metta World Peace or Royce White, Lamar Odom. Delonte West.
I want to commend my friend Brandon Marshall and
Brandon Marshall,
because he started that conversation.
Right. Having that conversation is important, not just for yourself and to grow from that, but it makes other people feel comfortable coming out and talking about it, which is what DeMar
as being an athlete, Joy, and your brother was an athlete, and you and being with athletes, you understand how important the mental aspect is. But to the fan, ain't nothing wrong with his arm. Put the ball in the basket.
Right, but what fans need to understand is the mental part far outweighs the physical part. The physical part you can understand because you can see it. You can see when someone's ankle is turned around. You can see when there's blood coming out of their head. You can't see what's going on inside
the demons inside.
Look at the situation that just happened with Jonathan Martin.
Yes.
Imagine if that was taken seriously before it got to the point that it is now. That's why these conversations are important. Des Bryant went off on social media yesterday, and we'll discuss that next.
And I won't